What's going on, family? Welcome back to the channel. And you know what? It's been a while since we spoke about Kaspa, and I think the community deserves an update with this sexy new looking website, which is called the KEF, the Kaspa Foundation website. Of course, E standing for ecosystem, and other things they're working on. Is Kaspa still a good opportunity? We're going to discuss it. We're going to find out. Smash a like and let's effing go, guys. So first of all, Kaspa is a sleeping giant. Kaspa is one of the greatest money makers of the bear market. Kaspa came out of the depths of Reddit in 2022. When I came across it, it shot through the whole of the bear market, and this was everybody's cup of tea. Tens of influencers, hundreds of influencers, and everybody and their mother and their kitchen. Everyone talking about this. But since then, we have cooled down, but they've been building quietly. Pay attention to my title. Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation is committed to the long-term success of the Kaspa ecosystem, guys. And if you don't know what that means, I'm talking about stuff like ZK EVM, layer 2s, in Casplex. I'm talking about the KRC20 development. But more importantly, there is a website now which is called I think it's Kas.fyi, and this is targeted specifically to developers. So developer resources are getting better. And why do we need that? So if you look at this, you have to develop on Kas, you need API documentation, right? So this is now, all of a sudden, it makes a lot more sense. It has been there for a bit, but I wanted to bring this news to the community because this is what you need if you're going to get your shit coins, your crazy projects building on Kaspa. Of course, this is a level above internet protocol. This is a fastest layer 1, technically speaking, right? And it's been proven 10 blocks per second. However, building on Kaspa up till this point has been slightly different. Of course, we had the KRC20s. So here you still have your nachos and very low volume. I think people can still make money from this as and when the layer 1 runs, eventually with the smart contracts. But really what I wanted to kind of gather, because the whole entire top 20 market cap KRC20 tokens are just mere $71 million, right? And of course, that is total fees collected so far, 131 million cash. But really what's going to make this take off is the stuff that they are doing outside of the obvious everyday kind of what people see, because people just see prices, right? People don't really see what's happening. So this is really the projects and initiatives. So smart contracts are at the top of the priority list, but the updates that I have for you is, first of all, let's talk about the research that they've concluded in Casplex, which rolls up a ZK EVM compatible infrastructure, which is going to unlock. This is the only way you are going to scale Kaspa, by natively building the KRC20s on the L2, because Kaspa needs an L2. This is going to be absolutely, I think this will be a pivotal moment for Kaspa, in my opinion, right? So they've already kind of native token standard enabled Kaspas for seamless creation and transfer. Now, the first time round, I don't even want to talk about it, but first time round, if you remember, that was mad. That was a debacle of some sorts, because, you know, we like to keep it real. We like to keep it critical. Projects get hindered sometimes. The hype was just way too much. People staying up over weekend just to go and mine KRC20s that were natively actually built on Kaspa. But this is a big deal. Compatible based rollups L2 solution for the Kaspa network. Now, when this comes and the settlement finality is insane, I think that's when you're going to see the crowd rushing in. All right. So this is going to be eliminating centralized sequences, zero knowledge proofs. Of course, this is all technology, but you've got to really go and dig into it. I guess the main thing to take away from here is when Kaspa announces smart contracts, these projects go mad on Casplex, and it's easy for the average man to go and deal with it. That's when you're going to see absolute madness. Number 2 update. central hub for Kaspa services, tools, and applications. All right. So you have to understand, of course, you need a place, you need a point in time. And one of the reasons I like about this Caspay, it wasn't so obvious before where you could actually just go. Like, so here now, look, Caspay, you've got KRC20 marketplace, right? To get your search for your favorite KRC20 marketplace, there is a bug there right now. Let's see what book gives us. And then here you've got the Kaspa books, goes Night, goes DAG, and all of those ones. Payment systems as well. CoinPal, some checkouts here. I don't really like, I just wanted to have one space where I could get all of my Kaspa in just one spot, right? From mining, right, to whatever. Some of these images don't come up, but hey, look. And then of course you've got stuff like this. This is quite important in my opinion, because what you can do is you could also, by the way, ExoDex is the native Kaspa, DEX centralized exchange. There's one called Hybit, of course, wallets like Casware and KDX wallet and all of that. You'd rather put it into your Tangent anyway. But there's a lot of stuff going on here. Of course, all of these things should come together. But you're starting to see, if you get into the ecosystem, you'd see some of the biggest tokens, what their valued is, how much it did, you know, all of that stuff, trading volume in totality. So this is going to be, you know, PP KAS, first Kaspa P2E multi-app as well. So essentially, Kaspay just brings everything about Kaspa together. And of course, connect your wallet here to unlock the KRC marketplace. You can do that if it recognizes your Kaspa wallet. Let's see if we've got an old wallet here. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's also quite important in my opinion. Now, of course, Kaskeeper, we know, intuitive wallet and research and grants. This is really what got me excited. Now, of course, apart from the Block DAG API, where developers are now being really encouraged to actually start developing, there are 60 plus enterprise projects and initiative, anything from green energy to industry, of course, and all of that is actually taking place right now. So in my opinion, this is just something you need to look out for. R&D grants, of course, they are offering grants as well for anyone, and they're also paying ambassadors. So that's actually quite different to the first time we go into Kaspa, right? Zero mine, no pre-allocations, nothing, just buy it off the of the small exchanges, and then of course run with it. But listen, you know, I think from let's talk about money, right? You've got tons of stuff anyway. So there's a summary, new website, of course, new centralized place, Caspay, where you can get all your CAS information. You've got a new ZK EVM layer 2, Casplex. So you've got all of those things that are happening, right? But for you as an investor, if you actually take a look at the chart, right, bearing in mind what Kaspa did from the lows, you could actually see this is not a bad chart at all. This, in fact, looks like it's quite sexy. Pump, 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 pump. This is actually outperformed Bitcoin for the majority of 22, 23, 24. And of course, it is now consolidating around this 8 cents level. We don't have a Binance listing. There is no Coinbase listing. There's none of that, right? So you are technically as early as can be buying CAS, basically next to nothing, under 10 cents. So where could it go? Could Kaspa do what people expect them to do, which is pretty much nothing? Because I don't see anyone bigging this project up. I don't see, you know, people have deserted. Still, I've got a healthy bag of Kaspa, just for full transparency. In my opinion, what's going to happen with Kaspa is this. If they announce smart contracts, right? If they announce the smart contracts and get a tier 1 listed, you could rest assured the Kaspa price would skyrocket immediately to 50 cents or thereabouts. Then we start getting into a 10x level from here. If you're watching the video today, that could be that 86. Now, 86 is a straight 10x. Having said that, most people will hold out for $1. If Kaspa smashes the $1 mark, I believe it is going to end up between $1.50 to about $3. However, if you're holding a lot of Kaspa, my psychological point of exit would be under $1. Could it do that? Only time remains to be seen. There is another video that I'm doing about the pivot and how that Fed movement is going to impact us. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think Kaspa is primed from where it is today to go and do a 20x, a 10x, whatever you think Kaspa can do? Put it into the comments and I'll catch you on the next one, my friends. Take care.